Inactivity serves no...
Perfect.
The only ones for the job? Huh.
The Adventurers Guild doesn't employ that kind of classification system. In fact, this commission is also probably not near. All it asks us to do is to find a missing person.
Huh?
I came across this commission. It seemed simple. With the reputation of the Adventurers Guild and the performance...
Well, that's us for sure!
If it proves to be beyond your capabilities as well.
Okay, so who are we looking for? And what is it about this commission that's made it so hard to
This commission was jointly issued by the residents of Vimara Village. But the problem is, they don't know the missing person's name.
They're all from the same village, but they don't even know his name? If so many adventurers have failed to complete this commission, maybe this missing villager doesn't exist at all. Could it be some sort of a prank or something?
Unlikely. Several villagers came by to issue the commission, and judging by their appearance and tone of voice, they seemed incredibly sincere. It certainly didn't seem like a joke to them. Besides, putting up a commission requires a processing fee. In any case, it would probably be best to go to Vimara Village and ask around first. The Adventurers Guild does have some information on hand, but I would say any...
All right then, let's go! Paimon's starting to get really curious about this whole thing. To Vimara Village! Why don't we talk to some of the villagers to learn a little bit more about the missing guy? If this commission is really as challenging as Catherine made it out to be, we're gonna need to carry out a very detailed investigation.
Hello there. You looking to buy something? I do business in this area.
Oh, no, we're adventurers. Catherine sent us to look into a commission here in Vimara Village.
Ah, so you're here about that, then. Ah, you're not the first, that's for sure. We've certainly made a lot of trouble for you all. To be honest, we aren't holding out much hope. Many adventurers have made their way out here, confident they'd be able to help us, only to leave soon after with nothing to show for their efforts. We've pretty much had it up to here in questions.
So, this person we're looking for, what's his name? Where did he live? Does he have any relatives?
I don't know. I really have no clue. I couldn't tell you.
Okay, guess you are really sick of answering questions.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to sound short with you. I know it may seem like we don't have anything to offer by way of information, but I promise you, we all have we just don't know the specifics. Maybe we did at one point, but that information is long. At least that's what everyone in the village seems to think. We've all exchanged what we know, and that was the only logical conclusion.
All right, specifics aside then, what kind of person was he?
Young guy. In his early 20s, probably. Incredibly I'd chat with him when I didn't have any customers. I even saw him stick out his neck for others on more than one occasion. Very interesting guy, that one.
Now that you've started talking about him, you don't seem nearly as down in the dumps as you did before. Seems like he left a pretty good impression on you.
But of course, everyone in the village is pretty fond of him. We wouldn't have issued that commission otherwise. There aren't many young people like him nowadays, so genuine and pure. To think.
Could he have just moved away without telling anyone?
No, he's not the type to leave without saying goodbye. And anyway, moving away.
Huh. All right, thanks for the information. We're gonna go ask around some more.
It's the guests I hear.
Hi, Grandpa Amadea. We're here to help you look for the guy that's gone missing.
Ah, so that's what brings you to these parts. Coming?
Could you tell us a bit about him?
Of course. With my failing eyesight, I'm afraid I can't offer much about his appearance. I don't think his parents are still living in the village. But somehow he would often take time to visit the elderly or play with the orphans in the village. And whenever someone had something on their mind, he was there to listen with open as the village.
Wow. He seems like such a nice and gentle person. No wonder his disappearance affected you all so much. But, you wouldn't happen to know any details about his name?
I'm ashamed to admit it, but I just can't remember. No matter how you look at it, I should know those things. But for some reason, no matter how hard I try to remember, the information just doesn't come. Perhaps my age really has caught up with me this time.
It's okay. There's no need to force yourself to try and remember. We'll figure something out. Well, Traveler, what do you think? Paimon thinks so too. And nobody has been able to tell us anything about his family. Wait, so you're saying it's not that he's been erased? Okay, Paimon's gonna need some time to process that one.
You two are the adventurers who just arrived, right?
Yep, sure are. We were just...
I'm so glad to hear that. Thank goodness you haven't given up. I've been so worried the Adventurers Guild might cancel our commission. My name is Atosa, by the way. I grew up here in Vimara Village.
Yeah, no need to worry. We'll give it our best shot. So, were you close to the missing villager?
I'm not sure this counts as a lead, but follow me.
Is this the place?
Yep. I know it doesn't look like much, but this place is very meaningful to me. It's so full of memories. We used to always sit together under this tree and talk. Sometimes we would look up at the clouds in the sky, or stop to feel the wind against our skin. We could sit there for hours at a time, never realizing how long it had been. I was actually adopted by the people of Vimara Village. The forest rangers found me in the woods as a child. I was surrounded by such good people, and growing up in the village was so lively. Still, there were times when I couldn't help but feel incredibly alone.
Alone?
How should I put it? When something's bothering you, or when you have good news to share, you always want to talk about it with somebody. But for the longest time, I didn't know who I could talk to, or if I should say anything at all. Everyone has their own problems to deal with. Really? You know...
Aww.
Wow, that sounds really nice. You're quite lucky. When it comes to our missing villager, well... I guess you could say that to me. He felt like both a family member I could rely on and a friend who could really understand me. No matter what came my way, I knew I could always talk to him. He was so thoughtful and pure, and patient, too. Whenever I talked to him, he would always seem so interested, as if the things I was describing were just as important to him as they were to me. Ever since he disappeared, there's been so much I wanted to tell him. No, none of those things matters now. I just really want to see him again.
Wow, you two must have been really close. Did he ever tell you anything about himself?
He mostly just talked about interesting things he saw around the village. He'd share a lot of his own wild ideas as well. Oh, right! I did ask him about his parents once. But all he said was, they're not here anymore. I didn't know whether that meant they had left the village or passed away, and I didn't want to pry.
Still not much to go off of.
Look at me. Talking your ear off and still nothing to show for it. I'm sorry I wasn't more help. The last time I talked this much in one go... come to think of it, every time we talked, it always seemed to be around dusk, just like right now. Time always passed by really slowly. Even when it felt like we'd been talking for hours, the sun would still be at the same position in the sky.
Well, time always seems to pass slower when you're relaxed, right? What's wrong, Traveler? Hey, look at those hilly the Abyss Order. Could they be the ones behind all of this? Uh-oh, we've been spotted! Quick, get ready to fight!
Be sanctified. Settle down.
And Shroud, I hear everything.
Everybody stand back! Let's look. There is no escape!
The tides beckon.
Thank you so much. I wasn't expecting monsters to show up. If you hadn't been here, I'm not sure what I would have done.
It was no trouble.
Now that I think about it, the hilly trolls around Vilmara village have been a lot more active lately. They seem agitated and would often attack anything in sight. Chief Amadea doesn't allow the children to play in the area around the village anymore.
Maybe the Abyss Order really is involved. Well, we should head back and check out the situation in Vilmara village just in case. If the Abyss Order is plotting something that could spell trouble for the villagers. Wait a second. That person... It's Dainsleif!
Ah, it's you two.
Oh, a friend of yours? Well, I'll leave you all to it then. I should head back to the village and check up on Chief Amadea and the others anyway. Well, see you later.
Yep, see you later, Atosa! Why do you always have to pop up out of nowhere like that? Is it your life's mission to jump scare us or something?
It's hardly personal, or intentional for that matter. As long as you and I are both in pursuit of the Abyss Order, we're bound to cross paths.
Ah, so you're here to investigate the Abyss Order then. That would explain the monsters you were fighting just now.
Naturally. Hold on. No matter. It may have taken you a while to catch on, but I'm sure you've also realized by now that there's something strange about this place. The Abyss Order is most certainly planning something in this area. Or worse, their plan could already be in motion.
So you think the Abyss Order is behind the hilly trail activity in the area?
As things stand, I highly doubt that is their primary motive. I would imagine the increased hilly trail activity is merely a byproduct of whatever it is they're really trying to accomplish.
Still, the hilly trail activity is causing a lot of problems for the people here. We should stick around for a while and protect the village, don't you think?
The best way to protect them is by figuring out what the Abyss Order... And you shall have them. I never intended to hide anything from you. Don't worry. There should be ample time to talk. Ah. So that was the commission that brought you here to Vimara Village. Someone who seems to only exist in people's memories. That is indeed quite intriguing. I would agree. It appears all we have by way of clues is...
Right! That mysterious voice he heard in his sister's memory. The one who called himself a sinner. Who is he?
Traveler, let me ask you this. Do you believe your sibling to have betrayed you? I sense hesitation in your words. After all, you still haven't figured out the whole truth of what happened. There's still hope for the two of you to reconcile. Irreparable damage has not yet been done. The sinner you wish to know about, his situation is different. He and his fellow sinners have long betrayed me, and long betrayed their nation. His name is Vedrfolnir, the Visionary. I'm loath to admit it, but he is also my kin, my older brother.
Your brother?
There were 5 of them, the 5 sinners of Khanria. The wise, Roptatir, the visionary, Vedrfolnir, Gold, Rhine-daughter, the foul, Sertologi, and Rehir of Solnari, Rerir. No matter how eroded my memory may become, I will never forget their names. One day, I shall have my vengeance.
Wait, some of those names sound really familiar. Rhine-daughter is the one who created Albedo. Sertologi is Skirk's master. And the one we just learned about, Dane's brother, Vedrfolnir. If he was the voice of the sinner, then the one who inspired Clotar to create the Abyss Order was him!
They were once people of great esteem in Khanria. Those who carried the hopes of the nation. 6 of us. Together. We should have been the ones to prevent the disaster. The ones to stop the Vinster King from continuing to rock the foundation of the world. Yet, deep within, the 5 of them craved something more. They could not resist the call of the Abyss, and divided among themselves a power that could destroy the world. So they became sinners, but also transcendent beings, each in possession of world-shattering power. And when the cataclysm occurred, not one of them stood up in defense of their... Indeed. If they are not stopped, of course. As I said, I never intended to hide anything from you.
So, Dane, what have you been looking into all this time?
I've continued to investigate the questions surrounding the Loom of Fate. It's been quite some time since the initial operation was launched. By retrieving the eye of the first field tiller, we were able to stop part of their plan from coming to fruition.
Oh, Paimon remembers! Weren't they going to use it to corrupt Osial and make a god or something?
Indeed. However, it's obvious that was just the eye was integral to their plan. Yet somehow, despite failing to obtain it, they've skipped the experimental phase and found some other way to keep moving forward. There are many signs pointing to that effect.
Then what should we do? It's not too late.
Our most pressing concern is to determine the purpose of the Loom of Fate. From there, we'll be able to deduce the Abyss Order's true objective. Based on the intel I've gathered so far,
The ley lines?
Traveler, you were able to observe your siblings' memories last. My recent investigation.
Wait. Then our commission here in Vimara Village.
It's certainly possible. I'll join your
Well, if we're teaming up with Dane again, we're gonna need all the energy we can get. Let's try investigating somewhere a little further away tomorrow. Well, let's go find Dane! Dane? Hello, Dane? Did something happen?
The missing person from your...
Oh! Young guy? Early...
There appear to be certain memories in my mind. Memories.
Maybe we just talked too much about him yesterday and you...
No, it wasn't a dream. They're memories, and I'm certain I've never met this person before. I remember handing him the eye of the
What? Okay, so this missing person definitely has something to do with the Abyss Order then!
Indeed.
Wait then. But why would he do something...
Whatever the Abyss...
What sort of...
That their goal is... I am the only person who knows. Your concerns are not entire... However, considering their... Come with me.
Oh, so you're...
Of course.
So you hid it way out here? Well, let's go check to see if it's safe.
Traveler, wait. We've no time to lose. Let's head inside.
Hey, wait up!
Bow your head.
I'll uproot you!
Settle down! Let the mighty be humbled!
It appears the mechanisms here have changed over time. You can access the upper floor through the side door. Perhaps you should try reactivating the mechanism over there.
Shine down! Inazuma shines eternal! Illusion shattered!
Be sanctified.
Make sure all the runes are pointing in the direction indicated by the light. That should unlock the mechanism. The door's open. Let's go. Our destination is just up ahead.
Looks like we can't go any further.
Be on your guard. I sense the presence of the abyss.
It's the Abyss Order! They're here!
Bow your head. Justice is blinded.
There is no escape! Now you shall perish!
I hear everything!
Settle down, mortals! Let the mighty be humbled!
I'm going in! That's gonna hurt in the morning! Let's light it up! Illusion shattered!
Let's nip that in the bud!
And devour!
Let's light it up! Inazuma shines eternal! Everybody stand back! Let's light it up!
I'll uproot you! Can't see?
There is no escape! Let's light it up!
Just as I suspected. The false memories were a trap. Now that they're in the vicinity, we should have...
Dane? What's wrong?
Can you feel that?
Wow, you must be really sensitive to that sort of thing.
You too. Do as I say. The Abyss Order is putting something in motion. Just think of it as a way to divide... I knew going along with your trap would be the only way to meet with you face to face.
You risked your safety, and that's quite the gamble, Dainsleif.
So you came here all on your own?
When the Twilight Sword is prepared for battle, any army I could send would only be marching to their doom. Better, I know you must have a lot, but if it's a conversation you want, you'll have...
The Abyss Order's on the move. The ley lines are all out of whack. We better hurry. Hey, look at those hills. Weren't they acting super agitated just a little while ago?
In the new world, at last, they know such was the price they paid, and thus...
Did you hear that? It sounded so gentle. Oh, this is weird. Looks like the same thing is happening over here.
You see, we're both... We've reclaimed an endless... Release your tears.
Over there. It looks like they're sleeping.
In the end, sleep well, Father. When you awake, that...
It almost sounds like a poem or... Well, now that the Hilly Trolls have calmed down, let's put this situation to the side for now. Dane said this might be our... Grandpa Medea, is everyone all right? The Abyss Order seems...
The Abyss Order? Thank you for your concern.
Well, that's good. Oh, also, you didn't happen to come across any... Huh? Well, you know, the young guy from Vermont. That's kind of the whole reason...
Ah, I do apologize, you two. At least right now, I can't seem to recall what...
But how is that? Something's definitely not right. We just back to Grid. What do you think, Traveler? Could everyone's memories of the missing village... You're right.
Researching human physiology is
Someone's gone
Just as expected. That guy you said a bunch of nights, he's around 20...
Oh,
Really?
there aren't many. Then there's only one person who fits. Yeah,
Strange. Bayram seems to remember him. And apparently he... Do you think maybe it's not that there's...
If this person only exists in... If we really did travel back to... Time travel is extreme. Just like what happened with Greater Lord... No, If this person only exists...
Right! Paimon totally forgot about the ley line disturbances. We're in some... Just like how you entered your siblings' That would also explain why we seem to be at a time before you... Right. If he's someone... But didn't Bayron just say... Who knows how long this ley line... Good idea! That'll help us... We pretty much figured out that the missing villager has the ability to... Right! That! Like, does it maybe leave...
There's a difference between... Maybe not. If time was a...
No wonder! All this time and the sky hasn't changed a bit! That's the tell of the implanted If the memories include... Like, there could be... Oh, that's why he made...
The color of the sky.
Oh, right! That's
Come to think of it, every time time always passed by really slowly. Even when it felt like...
Yep, that has to be it! Yeah, that...
So, you see, Granny Jahiet was a mercenary when she was younger. She just taught... Oh, there I go again. Always talking about my own things. It's okay if you don't.
Oh, I think you'll meet many amazing people and live a very happy life. You won't miss someone like me.
Huh? Are those your friends over there?
Oh, right! This version of Atosa...
Friends? I guess you could say that. It must have taken them a lot of effort to find me. So, I should...
Another time, huh? Yeah.
It's nice to see you, Traveler. I believe this is the first time we've met.
Dane's brother. No. Born into... You're... Kari Bear Alberi.
Oh. You know me? Oh, I see. It was the memory. This is a toast, but... I suppose I'll just leave her a message instead. I suppose you could call it the realm of my consciousness. I'm someone who no longer exists in the real world, after all, as you well know. It's nothing. I still have enough strength to play the part of a good host. I've always hoped that I'd get the chance to talk to you like this, and now, the time has finally arrived. Extreme sorrow and pain. Hope and regret coursing through your veins. And a degree of abyssal power that defies comprehension. Father told me that once I possessed all those elements, I would become the loom of fate. But, despite his intentions for me, I never truly became the loom of fate. I was merely used as a means for its construction. In truth, I died the moment I set everything in motion. The person you see before you now is nothing but a remnant of consciousness left over within the loom of fate. As for your question, the loom of fate is a device capable of weaving ley lines. In its primitive form, it can only be used to, once fully completed, the moment it gains the power to weave ley lines, it loses the lower-level ability to influence memories, but it also becomes a tool that can change the entire world. Yes, I have the ability to control the loom in its semi-completed form. I suppose you can think of it as a form of compensation. After all, its existence cost me my... That. I was wrong to implant those memories. I just wanted them to feel like I once existed in this world, as if... Why would I do something so... But I had to know what it would be like if I had my own life. Chief Ahmadiyya, Baram, Granny Jahiyat, Atosa. What would it be like if I could live alongside them? No, I was curious, so I selfishly tried to have my own life, even if that meant piecing together the version of myself that could have been. I know it sounds stupid. After all, any chance at living was stripped away from me when I was 8 years old. My consciousness left to mature in an illusory world of nothingness. Even the form you see before you was nothing but an invention based on my father's appearance. An imagined version of what I would look like if I had the chance to grow up. I know. But there's nothing I can do. If I could exist in the real world, I would return without a second thought and surprise them with the sudden... I know. Captain Dainsleif. Twilight Sword. Exactly. As someone who could only exist in people's memories, the fact that I'm able to talk, the loom of fate has already been completed. No need to worry about Captain Dainsleif. He's absolutely fine. The only reason he lost the eye was because I happened to guess exactly what he was planning. Captain Dainsleif has had the eye inside his body this whole time, hasn't he? His plan was to lure the Abyss Order to a false location, capitalizing on their pursuit of the eye in order to have the chance to confront the princess. He would then hand the eye to you and tell you to take it away from that. That way, Captain Dainsleif could accomplish his own goal and ensure this. That's right, because in his mind, before you two entered that false location.
Traveler, wait. We've no time to lose. Let's head inside.
That was when I implanted the memory of him handing you the eye. Given the tense situation at that time, Captain Dainsleif failed to notice anything out of the ordinary, and took that memory to be real. I'm sorry, Traveler, but I needed the Loom of Fate to be completed. And to do that, we had to retrieve the eye. I promise I'm not trying to conceal anything from you. Tevat's ley line system is deeply entrenched in the planet. Creating new ley lines can neither replace nor in the face of everything they could be planning, in any case. You remember my father, don't you? Clotar Alberic, after he used the power of the Abyss to restore consciousness to my hilichurl form. To comfort me, my father told me a story. That story managed to dispel my fear. My goal was simple, to implant a specific memory. In that memory, I can't change the world. All that's left of my... But now...
Looks like I was too late to see Kari Bear one last time. Kari Bear's consciousness is gone, and this space will soon disappear along with it. Neither of us belongs here. That's why we're not tangible. Were that not the case, I'd love to hug you too. Well... The chance to just stop and talk like this is certainly not easy. That battle earlier was tough. The one against Dane. I didn't expect that after everything, he would still hesitate. Were it not for that. Perhaps the loom of fate, huh? Before the heavenly principles awaken. Yes, for 500 years now, ever since the Not long ago, you witnessed the Hydro Archon destroy her divine throne. Such a flagrant disregard for the rules, and still Celestia took... However, the heavenly principles will awaken. We just don't know. You could say that. Just look at Kari Bear. He was so pure and single-minded. The space we now find ourselves is a perfect representation of who he was. Even as a hilichurl, seeing the terrible sight within the mirror wasn't enough to taint his spirit. He brought comfort to the people of this world, even though he was denied the very right to be a part of it. So ask yourself this. Who was it that deprived him of that right to exist? Of course, that's only... Ether?
You're the only one in this world who calls me that. There's so much I wanted to ask you, but for some reason, I'm not interested in asking those questions right now. There's just one thing I have to ask. One thing I could never understand. Why? Why can't we continue our journey together?
At the end of my journey, I arrived at a place known as the Sea of Flowers at the end. Do you remember? A long time ago, when you told me you wanted to find a place in the universe where that one flower was in full bloom. To have a place like that suddenly appear before me, well, would you think of that as a coincidence?
You mean...
I miss you too, Ether. But as this war continues to rage, and as I continue to seek that final answer, I don't even know how to face myself sometimes, let alone my own brother. This space has lost its tether. I doubt it'll be able to exist much longer. In fact, aside from our inability to physically interact with each other, there's something else you should know about this space. With Kari Bear gone, we won't be able to remember anything that happened here. Everything in space will be wiped from existence, including all memory of our reunion.
You're only telling me this now?
Still so sleepy. Oh, Paimon woke up a little earlier than you, so Paimon will fill you in. The villagers said that they saw us sleeping near the village yesterday. They couldn't wake us up no matter how hard they tried, so they decided to just bring us back here. Oh, and Dane came by just now. It looked like he was injured. He didn't say anything, though. Just made sure that you were all right and left. Kinda seemed like he had a lot on his mind, but that's... Let's think for a second. We were in that memory, and we saw that guy you called Kari Bear. He was the missing villager that we've been trying to find, right? And after that, Paimon doesn't remember what happened. Wait, really? Well, what happened after that?
Ah, there you are. Sleep well?
Bayram? You sure seem happy. Did something good happen?
Something good? Huh. It's just that, well, the village organized another search party yesterday. So there we were, searching away, when suddenly according to him, one day around dusk he was passing by this one tree outside. There he was, sleeping under that tree all by himself. His parents came a little later to wake him up, and they all left together. They looked like quite a happy family, apparently. And after that, well, we all started to feel like that really is what happened. Kind of... Oh, and we also remembered his name, Kari Bear. Now, that's not a name you hear every day. Would have been helpful if we remembered it sooner. Well, I hope he's happy wherever he is, and we're all relieved now that we know what happened.
Seems like everyone thinks Kari Bear left the village. That's probably for the best. At least they have some sort of... Paimon wonders how Atosa's doing. Maybe we should go check on her. If she hasn't remembered like everyone else, Paimon didn't see her in the village just now.
Keep up.
Hey, Atosa, how's it going?
Oh, it's you two. I was part of the search party, so I just can't believe I forgot something. It's funny, but I have this feeling he told me the same thing. I just can't seem to remember. I guess it doesn't really matter anyway. Life is made up of a series of memories. As long as I hold on to our time together, he'll always be a part of my life. I'm just happy I got to meet him. So... Okay, I'll admit, I was dumb. Otherwise, why would he just leave? You don't need to. It's just like Kari Bear said. It's the things we overcome that make life more precious. And you know, if he has a heart... Anyway, thanks for all your hard work, you two. I promise I'd help...
Well, that should be it, right? Oh, right! Weren't you about to tell Paimon what... A picture?